AFC matchup on tap between the Detroit Lions and the Los Angeles Rams. Brandon Gunn here with Charles Davis as always. And CD, you look at the Rams in this matchup, they've got to be thinking, hey, we've got a good chance to be successful here running the football.
No doubt about that, because that has to be their mindset. It should be their mindset. This is one of the better run.
First carry now for the BYU man. It's Shamar Williams. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
Of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll hand it off now. Williams. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Here's Newman to throw. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. So the Rams in great position here as they get things started. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4". So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And he'll take this one down to the 36. The numbers for him from a week ago. Charles, how do you think he ran the football?
I thought he definitely had his moments. I did think that they could have utilized him a little bit better, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him to see how they're going to use him this week.
On 2nd down now, it's Hawkins, and he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. Now this defense for the Lions, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
Well, we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
On 1st down, Hawkins. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd-and-1 situation. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
On 3rd down, it's Hawkins. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the 1st down as he's tackled at the 2. The stop there on 3rd. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
If I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there. And I'd go right at him with another momentum play. I'd go quickly and attack him because right now they'll probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop him on 3rd down.
2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. They'll try to run this one in. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. On 3rd down, it's Hawkins. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. A great effort there. With touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Rams are going to take a first-quarter lead. Gonna owe the extra point, and it's now they go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
Newman's throw complete there to St. Brown. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big play that time on the catch and run. And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we could at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there. And the Rams got him. They bring him down. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Out of the pistol, here's Williams. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. And that gets back some of what they needed, but they're still stuck here with a 3rd and 13. Newman. A covered sack. Took too long to get rid of it. Aaron Donald in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him. Jack Fox out to punt here on 4th down. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And they call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Rams are going offense here with a 1st and 10. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
Right back to him on 1st down. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 48 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ballgame. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the 1st quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without. And what he meant was takeaways, not get loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling. On
2nd down, it's Hawkins. And he'll go down at at the 28. And after his performance last week, everybody saw it. Unbelievable. You can expect a heavy dose of him again, I think.
Without a doubt. I mean, why wouldn't you? Because once you establish yourself that way, it's not just him, okay? It's his offensive line, it's the tight end, it's your wide receiver. Everyone now sharing in the load and sharing in the belief that they do their job, they'll see another performance just like they saw.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. And here's a handoff out of the gun. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6.
I'll be giving up respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up 1st downs.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Rams have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Extra point try good by Gano. And that'll make the score 14-0. A 10-play drive that time. And it's capped off. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. The numbers for Williams a week ago, 14 carries, 54 yards.
Well, watching the film, we saw that things clicked pretty well for them in the running game last week. No reason to change in my mind. Continue to try and run the football. Give it to him early and often in hopes of breaking down the defense so some bigger gains result as the game goes on. So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
The Lions with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Throwing now, Newman on 1st down. And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they're acting panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And the Rams got it. They bring him down. Aaron Donald in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Newman looking to throw it. Under pressure, they got him again. Montez Sweat has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Well, the number 1 mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the the shotgun. Newman. And that is incomplete.
This offense has definitely been slow getting out of the gate. It's almost like they missed their wake-up call for this one. No points on their first 2 possessions, and now it's looking like none on this one either.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's in his zone, second quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
They'll roll him out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked up by Jonathan Jones. And the Lions are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Here's Newman. He'll get this one to the Golden Domer, St. Brown. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now Newman on first down. This one complete to his running back, Jamal Williams. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. The Lions into the red zone for the first time. 1st and 10 right at the 20. Again, Newman. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Aaron Donald, it's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign. But, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback. A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap. He locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
The Lions on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They can use a conversion. This will be 3rd and forever. Newman. And this one is incomplete.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
The kick by Lutz is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So that, Charles, hands it off out of the gun. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, He is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat, in every meeting with reporters. This week, he kind of said, I've had enough, and I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 44 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down. You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hekker to punt it away. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And this ball's going to be down now right at the 10-yard line. Good spot.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Now it's Newman. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, but he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Newman. Staying on his feet, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Montez Sweat has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number, it's just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. And the Rams got it. They bring him down. Montez Sweat in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Here's Jack Fox now as he's on to punt for Detroit. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. On 1st down, Brady. That's the tight end, Hurst, with it. But he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Well, Brady gets away with one. Lucky, could have been intercepted, but it falls to the ground.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Again, they'll throw with Brady.
And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give him credit.
They'll throw on 1st down with Newman.
Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Now it's Newman.
And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back. In pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And this is caught by Watkins. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here on this first half.
Final play of the half. It's Newman.
He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. They'll start the 3rd quarter here on the ground. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And here's a handoff out of the gun.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return, and the Lions will take over. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half.
And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out, and now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
They run it again with Williams. Oh, he shifts past him, and he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
On first down, Newman.
And that'll be caught by St. Brown. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch then.
And the Rams defense gets to him again behind the line of scrimmage. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3. They go play action now. Newman. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. So here are the Rams to take over. They lost 2 straight coming in, but good news for them right now. They've got the lead and the football. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now. Hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
Oh, able to avoid him. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down. Working from the gun, it's Brady. Throw left side, caught by the tight end, Hurst. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
180 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
Jeff Okudah up from his cornerback spot to make the play.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Here's a handoff out of the gun.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And to give this time to the tailback. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6.
I think they got this drive a little bit better there, probably. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's 2nd and goal.
Charles, when you talk about free safeties, I think one word comes to mind, range. And we saw an example of a rangy free safety right there.
They'll try to run this one in. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal.
They'll try to run this one in. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. A great... They'll try to get this running game going with Williams. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
We're going to give out a little applause on that play. It has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete.
And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Here's Newman to throw.
Looking left sideline, incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on first down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who can make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
It's a throw again here, Newman.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Back now here on EA Sports. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Man open, it's St. Brown. He's got it. And he's got this down to the 35.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Jonah Jackson, former third-round pick, the guilty party.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Newman.
Open man right side to St. Brown. Touchdown, Detroit.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
His 4th touchdown.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And they're able to get this one across the 35.
142 yards rushing for him now. He has been tremendous all day long.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive.
56, Mike, 56.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They'll keep it on the ground. Hawkins, and he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? You just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the 1st. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
They'll try and run for it. And he will have a 1st down at about the 21-yard line. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and minicamps. For these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense. Here we go.
On 3rd down. It's Hawkins.
And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal. This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the
Throwing now, Newman on 1st down.
And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game. Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
And that is incomplete. Now the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Newman will throw again.
Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 44-yard line.
This game just keeps evolving and changing, doesn't it? You got a tight end who can move around a lot. Not necessarily using a big body on him. Sometimes you take a corner, a better cover guy, and put him on him and try and take him out of the game as we've seen in this one.
You're exactly right. They've taken him out of the game. That was just his first catch. Big reason they're losing right now. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
2nd and 10. Newman looking to throw it.
And the Rams got it. They bring him down.
Justin Madubuike.
Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And he's going to drop this off to Williams, complete. And he'll get up near the 45. He'll spot it at the 44. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. That'll be caught. It's St. Brown. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it'll be a turnover on downs. They'll run on 1st down. It's Hawkins. He's able to push his way forward somehow for a gain of about 2 yards. 2nd down now. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll keep it on the ground. Hawkins, and a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Brings up 3rd and 3.
On 3rd down, it's Hawkins. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Well, as always, partner, an extreme pleasure to share a booth with you. I have to say, I am impressed at your discipline because you came here and you said you were not going to eat